Hello everyone, welcome to this video. Finally, as of yesterday on the 21st of February, I completed the Path of Terra. I'm now recording this intro on the 22nd of February. I must say the Path of Terra, it wasn't as bad because after unlocking everything from the Runology and Whimsy path, you get rewarded with light a lot more, like the fireflies at all, they appear more frequent, and you also get them at a bit of a longer distance. Also the glyph game, it's at 5 locations and they each reward 240 light at level very hard, and for each location the rule is the first time you do it, it only costs 1 garden powder, so you can do all 5 locations for 5 garden powder only, and then you have already almost like 1,000 light. I also didn't ignore the Will-O-the-Wisp anymore. I did it in the past because I was just in the flow and then there came a Will-O-the-Wisp and I was like, nah, I'm not going to run after that. But it's actually much better to do it, because one Will-O-the-Wisp gives about 80 light, a lot more than one firefly can do after you unlock everything of the Whimsy path. And that saves a lot of time, because if one Will-O-the-Wisp is like 80 light, then you would have to gather about 80 fireflies. Well, a bit less though, because the fireflies also reward more later when you completed everything. It's like 3 lights for 1 firefly instead of 1 at some point. And also the rune carving puzzles, they appear more frequent. It's a bit of a mystery where they are, but that also helps a lot. And the 2 races that give light, the orienteering one and the Veildale race, they don't give light, only the 2 new ones. That also helps, both of them together is like 100 light, so that's great. So, in conclusion, it went a lot faster. I played like, I think, 1.5 hours each day, and I gathered like 6,400 light. I think it took me like 1.5 weeks to complete the Path of Terra. I must say the Path of Terra is kind of cute though. I had a routine at some point. At the end of each session I would plant a lot of seeds, and then the next day before starting the session I would gather the plant that came from it. At the end of the Path of Terra it becomes even more rewarding, as you unlock more of the top line at some point at level 6. The last 2 things you can unlocks an ability that makes you able to gather light from the plants you can gather. So then you get and plants and light the next day, and that is so satisfying and rewarding. That really helped a lot. In the future the Path of Terra could be very useful too. If we get another workshop with Terra, then we only just have to plant the seeds, and the next day we can gather the plants or get them in Veildale. We don't have to run across entirety of Jorvik anymore to be able to gather all the plants. We also don't have to wait an hour before they're all present, and that is great. I just wonder about the seeds, because at some point you run out of seeds and then you have to get them again through running through piles, etc. But like, why can't we buy them from the store yet, where we can also buy garden powder? Because you can see there are also those seeds on display, but when I click the shop you still cannot buy them. So I'm like, oh, why? That would be really handy and convenient if there's another Terra workshop again. But well, I guess we just can't yet. Maybe they will add that later. Would really like that. Either way, in general, yeah, Path of Terra was nice. It was still a grind, but it wasn't as bad as a grind as the Runology and Whimsy. I feel bad for those who have to begin with that, but yeah, it is the best, because if you have to do the Path of Terra at first, if you start with that before completing the other 2, then it's just going to take super long. It's just best to start with Whimsy and Runology to be able to gather light a lot faster. Yeah. So hope you enjoy the video, and I'll see you again in the outro. that was it for the path of Terra. I noticed there's a common theme going on with the horses, like Chimera and Anthea. They are fall creatures, and Birker and Hanami, they seem to be spring creatures, as they are creatures of nature and a symbol of rebirth. Well, that's typical spring. There isn't a season for Erinis and Petra though. She just talked about them, how they guard over the runestones, something like that. There isn't really said anything about the unicorns either, but it is interesting that that theme is going on. I think for now we're done with paths. Only thing I could think of is like path of aqua or something, but I'm done with it for now. I don't want to have to grind anytime soon. I don't think the SSO will add another path anytime soon either, but you never know. That's all for the video. Thank you so much for watching. Have a good night, day, morning, evening, afternoon, whatever time it is for you. Bye!